So just to clarify, sin is a problem. Sin is a problem, and it's a problem that's bigger than a simple roadblock on our way to salvation. Sin is not merely a guilt or a debt problem that needs to be overcome to rescue us from death. Sin also prevents humans from fulfilling God's aims, from bearing God's image, from revealing God's glory. Sin is not just personal, it's also social, and it's also cosmic. And we can unpack this idea. So first, sin is personal. This is true. Personal separation from God is one problem caused by sin. When I sin, I choose to abandon my role as an image bearer and separate my desires from God's desires. My choices and my actions fracture the intimate relationship that God desires to have with me. Sin gets in the way of my relationship with God and eternity with Jesus. However, sin is not only personal. Sin is social. My sin problem is not just my separation from God. My sin is your problem. It's our problem. If I leave the service today and go out and steal Bob Fewings' truck and drive off with it, that's not just my problem. That would very quickly become Bob Fewings' problem. That's not just my separation from Jesus. That's Bob's separation from his truck. It's a big deal. Sin is social. Now, this is really obvious for certain sins, like, for example, theft. It's obvious that Bob was affected. It's obvious with things like murder, adultery. However, it's also true for more private sins like jealousy or pride. If I hold internal anger towards someone, then my ability to love that person is greatly compromised. Anger can turn into hatred, it can fester, and it can permanently damage relationships. If a leader or a manager at work becomes consumed with pride, the workplace culture can become very hostile very quickly. No one wants a power-hungry boss, and it's because all sin is social. All sin has social implications. Sin is also cosmic. In Genesis, God responds to Adam's sin by announcing that the very ground has been impacted. It's not just you, Adam, the very ground. Cursed is the ground because of you, God says. Now this curse has both spiritual and physical implications. So all of creation is spiritually affected by sin, and in a very real way, all of creation is physically affected by human sin. Let's be honest, humans are destructive. We litter, we pollute, we consume. My younger brother and his girlfriend are pretty conscious of their environmental impact, like one of their main goals in life, maybe the goal, like their main purpose in life. Like if my purpose is to serve Jesus, their purpose is to have the smallest carbon footprint, and maybe those are related. But their goal is just to love the environment. And so one night, we're enjoying a vegetarian dinner together, and I asked them, what's the best thing someone can do for the environment? Like if I could do one thing, because I'm probably not going to do all of them, what's like one thing I can do and just cover all my bases? And their response surprised me, and I'll be honest, I failed at it. They said, don't have any kids. Why? Stop producing humans, my brother said. The more of us there are, the more the planet suffers. Because to them, humanity is a plague. It's a virus that's infecting and killing our planet. And this is really sad, in part because it's partly true. But this is really sad because if you were listening, this is the exact opposite of what we were created for. Creation should benefit from more humans, right? We have more image bearers, more hands to serve and to safeguard. But sin distorts our ability to rule with love, and the effects are tragically cosmic. So sin is personal, sin is social, sin is cosmic. The consequences of sin are universal within every system. It is systemic. As Matthew Bates puts it, sin impacts beryllium, balloons, banks, bombs, businesses, banquets, boyfriends, and your Aunt Bonnie. Everything. We desperately need rescue. So who will come to our rescue? Who will restore humanity's ability to bear God's image? Who can save us? Who will bring us good news? King Jesus, our Savior.